What's going on, y'all, and welcome to another episode of Try View Shouted, episode number 5. This episode, we're going to be doing the same thing we've been doing, recap, and then, a little thing was going on in my life. But I want to start off with my life this time, man. So strap in, man. Let's go ahead and dig into it, man. So, man, this week was a little crazy. It was a lot of ups and downs, a lot of things getting settled, a lot of things being set up. And man, I'm just grateful. But I just posed the question, like, when you dealing with the ups and downs of life, like, what's the best way to put it? When you're dealing with the ups and downs of life, always look to, what's next. Like, some of the best things that happened this week, I was able to take care of myself when something struck down because I finally got myself a car. And then during the week, I got my registration and, insurance done. So like everything with my car is like fully situated now. And then shoot, yeah, I had the hotel. That was nice. That was good. Just being able to take care of myself on a, decent amount of level by still being financially smart about it. Shoot, what else we got? Shoot, that's good things. Shoot, and just being grateful. And shoot, what else we got? Well, not just good. We can talk about some of the bad stuff that was happening too. Like, shoot, like how me and my Forex trading ain't been going that good this week. Like, I probably had my worst week in the last couple years, I want to say. Like a whole week where I was just getting wicked out of certain trades. And it wasn't even like I was wrong or, you know, that's just knowing how the market can do. Like, especially trading what I trade, US 30, like it can be very volatile. So to get wicked out of certain trades a whole week straight, on the same thing, it felt like I was almost going crazy. I had to step away. So, I had that, not really going my way this week. But, just going through that and then just waking up every other day, ready for a new challenge. So you really just ask yourself, even though you're dealing with the ups and downs of your life, like you wake up looking towards what's next. So like, I don't know. I think I just say that to say like, it's important to keep perspective when you just going through life, just in life. Like when you trying to do something new, like when you dealing with hurting all over your body because you finally like put a real workout in the gym and, not just at home doing, straight calisthenics. Or I hope that's correct. Like, I mean, that's what counts. If I'm wrong, please correct me. But, just dealing with stuff like that, like doing different stuff and just dealing with, that in your everyday life, knowing like, shoot, I know I put this work in. Shoot, I know my body gonna be hurting, especially if you do it right. Because I know, shoot, how I know I need to be in there consistently more. Cause man, leg day, man, them burpees, man, they'll get to you. But yeah, man, just dealing with that and knowing that like every other day is the new challenge. Every other day is you working on this part of your craft or, this part of your life. So like just knowing, well, not just knowing, but just looking forward and just feeling like, man, like I got this, or, I can handle this. Like just being in that mind frame, that mindset, knowing that like you ready for whatever's next, the good and the bad. Cause the good is, the good gonna make you think about the good and the bad, and, the bad just make you think about the good times. So, I kind of scramble that up a little bit, but you know what it is, you know what I mean? Like you need both or else like one isn't the other. Yeah, especially in this life we living on this earth in this time. It's crazy out here. the stuff just everybody dealing with, just everything we dealing with. But yeah, shoot, is that really all I got? Yeah, that's all I got on my mind. That's all I got on my head right now for, what's going on with me, just, the fact that life goes on and, after the lows and highs, what's next? Like, that's really just been on my mind after I done had I want to say a perfectly mixed week. This past week, I had some of my highest and lowest moments. Shoot, waking up and the power cut off and being able to actually put myself in a hotel, and also having my worst trading week I done had, especially this year, but in the last couple years. And also just being able to make sure everything is set on my car. Like, this was a perfect week of dealing with perfect, ups and downs, and oh man, crazy week. But shoot, we keep pushing. And also, I want to add on, I actually forgot it. Shoot, this past Friday, I did an interview, my first interview on another podcast where somebody invited me, and it's just so crazy that after a month of consistency, like somebody reached out to me, and was like, I want you on my platform. Like, I see you trying to establish a platform. Like, I see you trying to do what you're trying to do. And I believe in you, so I'm gonna, bring you to my platform. I want to say real shout out to my cousin, real blood, Jabari. That's my cousin. His podcast, Pop Your Ish podcast, where he got brought up, man, it's crazy. And just everything we finna have locked in going on in the future is gonna be perfect for what I'm trying to do. And it just reminded me once again that I just need to keep doing what I'm doing, and opportunities are gonna keep presenting themselves. And all I gotta do is take advantage of the opportunity. So stay soon. Stay tuned for that, because when that happened, what's supposed to happen with that, life, everything gonna be different. This is gonna be different. Just bear with me. Just bear with me. We're gonna get there. And when we get there, it's gonna be worth it. And also, side note, especially if you in here, you made it to this part of the video. This, I'm finna cut my locks off again. It's that time. I'm just feeling it, man. It's that time for me to cut them again. Something's just telling me with this coming up and everything I'm finna try to knock off. See, like this, like I want you to see my full face, my full cheekbone. Like, I want you to see that. I know it's funny, crazy, and I know you still can't wear my hair like that, but I don't know, man. Something is just telling me, and I've been fully listening to the voice in the back of my head. Something is just like, hey, bro, we'll grow it back in a couple of years. Just cut it right now. It'll be worth it. So I'm listening. Like, shoot, like I'm listening, man. They say we need to cut the hair. I'm gonna listen. So this will be probably the last time you'll see me with some locks. Well, not the last time, but it'll be a minute, maybe a couple years. It might even just be a couple months. Who knows, man? I know me. It ain't nothing to me to grow some hair. Like, my hair will grow. It ain't nothing for me to grow some hair, but life been happening, and they acting crazy. So it's time to let them go. It is what it is. I grown back. I got good hair. My diet ain't ugly. Like, I can grow some hair, so I ain't worried about growing no hair. That ain't never been a problem for me. So yeah, I'll do what I want to do. Because what I really want to do, I really just want to grow my hair out, like just full blown fro, and just do stuff with it from there, and not even have it like locked down the locks like I want it, like just. But I'm gonna need some bread to do that. We're just gonna leave it at that. But I still like to keep my lineup though. I still want to always keep a little fade, if not right there, little slow. You know, I'm gonna figure all of that out. You know, when I get this cut in the morning. But yeah, that what going on with me. But shoot, let's extend to the recap of what's been going on this week. I'm about to say main thing I want to talk about this week, since last week was a Wall Street heavy episode, and my man's on, my bro's on tour, and shoot, he's in Houston this week. He was in Houston for episode 55 this week. I still just gotta, cause I had a just crazy week this week, and I gotta still see, even me now, even though I done got better with consistently making videos, I still gotta get better with budgeting out my time to do certain things, especially like this. Like, even though I had all this stuff going on, I knew I needed to watch, because I know I watch Market Mondays, and I know I miss Wall Street this week because of last week, but I gotta make sure I'm on my job about getting both, so I can be able to bring that to you. And sooner or later I get to the point where I'll be able to bring you, financial news in certain ways that they not bringing it, because that's really the whole main goal, right? To just, establish myself in the space, and not just, as a commentator, but, because, I'm really still coming at this from a journalism vibe, a journalism state of mind. Like, that's just the way my brain works when I'm looking at things like this, is, in a journalism way. So I still like be in a position where I want to cover these people and, what they doing, because I feel like what they doing is important. And I feel like how they say cover a need, like there's nobody in the journalism space that's covering these people. Like, yeah, it's important that they got their own content, and that they, make their own content, and that, they do what they do with their content, but nobody's covering them. Like, nobody's covering, like, they bring them, once or twice, on some shows like the Today and this and that, but they not constantly keeping up with them. Like, they not making sure they tune in every week to make sure they, they get the information that they laying out. And I feel like it's, important that somebody, because they can only reach so many ears. And, not everybody that I follow follows them, so it may be somebody who may listen to me and they be like, oh, he talking about, these people, who are these people? And then shoot, it just leading them to, because it's all about, to me, like my journalism state of mind is all about bringing stories that people need to hear to the people. And whether that's like financially or, things that's going on in the community, when I can get to that road of being able to be like, hey, yo, you can, because I was just saying this the other day on the interview, if I'm not mistaken, like being able to be to the point where instead of calling Action 2 or Fox, you can call the Atlanta Tribe, and you know for a fact I'm trustworthy, and I can actually come out there and cover it, talk to the people there, and actually get a firm grasp of what's going on, get the B-roll, and actually make a full-blown news package of what's going on, and like be able to get it to my audience and, to the public. Like, it's all about setting up these things. So like, it's gonna be easier to do that. But excuse me, because I'm getting off track, but yeah, we on it now. Market Mondays. Oh, how am I gonna cover it like this time? I'm trying to figure out. All right, so basically, the main topics I got on here that I actually want to pull from, because I don't know how I want to do it, but I'm gonna start at the end, because I feel like this is the most important thing when you get to this part. So this would be good. When they was talking about Earn Your Leisure and Ian Dunlap, they was basically talking about like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm getting stuck right here in the middle of the video. I'm gonna be straight. But basically, they got to the point where they was talking about, if you want to invest in a stock for a 10-year period, like what are the 4 fundamental factors that you're looking for when you want to decide on it? And these are like the 4 frameworks that Ian gave out, AKA the master investor. I call him the master scientist. And hey, if he ever coined that on, hey, remember, just, yeah, that'd just be funny. But yeah, that'd just be a side little nickname, a little AKA if he ever coined that. But the master scientist, bro, know what he be talking about. So I really be heeding, and I don't know, it click in my brain almost like it makes sense on some like shared, we'll get into that later. On some, yeah, because, yeah, just life. We'll get into that. But yeah, 4 fundamental factors you look at when deciding, if you want to invest in a stock for a 10-year period is, and said, number one, what's the ratio of fanatical supporters of their brand versus their competitors. And the main thing he was using and talking about was Apple. He was talking about like how, even though a lot of people know, and, myself included, I can even tell you, like Samsung have been making like, good innovations on the phone side, especially like with the foldable phone and stuff like that. Like stuff like that is fine. But it's like no matter what they do, like the brand power of Apple and the power of blue messages. Like it's so funny, like how much stronger that is versus, dealing with Samsung and Android. And it's just so funny, like how strong the brand that they've built just off almost, it seems like exclusivity. It's so funny how it works. But yeah, that's number one. Number two, he said, do they have 50% of mind share in their market for 2 or more products in their space? So basically, he talked about Apple again. He talked about how, when you talk about smartphones, you talk about iPhone 9 times out of 10. And when you're talking about, tablets so basically tablets, you talk about iPads. Like, yeah, you may say tablet, but if you're not saying tablet 9 times out of 10, you're saying iPad. Like you've been in these spaces, even if ain't nobody, even if it's an Android, folks call it an iPad. Like you've been around those people, so you know how that be. So yeah, that's number 2. Number 3, how much do they make per hour? Like, and I got some, I can pull something from up here, some of my other notes where he was saying like, his third thing is basically, how much do they make per hour? He was talking about like how Apple comes in at 1 minute and 35 seconds to make $1 million, but Amazon right now, which had one of the craziest quarters ever, I got that in my notes, but I ain't got that in my talking points. I got to get better with stuff like that. Apple comes in, at 1 minute and 35 seconds, but Amazon comes in at every 58 seconds. Like, imagine that. Well, not even imagine that. No, it's real. Every 58 seconds, Amazon made $1 million. Like, that's why I like just fully engrossing myself in the financial world, like how I've been. Like it was, I used to have my toe dipped in it earlier, but now that my foot is fully entrenched in it, like it's like just to just hear that much money being moved around, it make you, I don't know, it make you look at the world different. Like these folks making $1 million every 58 seconds. Like not even every minute, every 58 seconds. Like that's crazy. That's crazy. And you can be an owner of them through the stock market. That's so crazy. That's even more crazy than the fact that they make that much. It's the fact that you can own a slice of that through the stock market. But that's just how my mind works. Cause like, that's crazy. These folks making 58 million every, like, no, not 50. Ooh, see, them numbers that get you mixed up. But they making $1 million every 58 seconds. And you can own a slice of it. And that's something I need to start doing too. Like, since I'm also talking about my forex trading journey, I need to start talking about my stock portfolio. I need to start fully, like, just talking about everything that I'm doing. So, like, it'll just be more routine, like in my later years and my later times. So like everything can just be, I don't know, it'll just make sense to just keep document of this. So like regular people, I don't know, it'll just be so cool to be able to just go back and be like, okay, I started at, where I'm starting at right now. Like with my Forex right now, I got a $100,000 account through Leveled Up Society. And so basically like, yeah, I got this money through this prop firm, and it's like I'm going through the ups and downs of like being in drawdown because I'm trying to get positive so I can god dang actually pull some money out. And it's not that I'm losing money, it's the fact that I'm basically in drawdown. Like I I had a bad week, and I'm just dealing with that and the ebbs and flows of that. But the big side is that is, shoot, I can have a good week to the point where I could be able to pull some out. Like that's just how the market is. And like I want to be able to, if I can document that, show people the ups and downs of that, and then when I be able to be able to show people that, like it'll just be more evidence that people can look at and be like, yo, like that's something I can do too. Like that's something I can do too. Like being able to, because the way I'm really seeing it, how I really want to shake it up is I want to be able to, because it's where I started at, is what I'm good at, so far right now is, Forex trading, and then taking my profits from Forex trading and putting it in the, stocks and, putting it in the stocks, buying holds, stuff that I'm want to hold for, 5, 10 years, or, like Trap talk about, the recession portfolio, being able to beat, the stock market, depending on what you got going, not depending on what you got going on, but depending on what the market is giving you. So, taking advantage of what the market is paying out, taking advantage of what the market is giving advantage to. Like I'm seeing like how all of this stuff can work in tandem, like with all, with what I'm learning from the people that, you know, I, the people that I basically like admire in this space, and also like the way my brain works. Like that's the way how I'm really just trying to do it. Like pulling from the people I admire and mixing it into what I'm doing, but never fully forgetting, both sides, never fully forgetting, what they fully doing, and never fully forgetting what I'm doing, so I can know, like, hey, I can pull this, and I know where the spirit of this is coming from. I know where his head was at, where, well, not where his head was at, but, I was picking up what he was putting down, and I got to be able to pick up, what I'm feeling too, so I can put it down for y'all. So it's basically like, not regurgitation, but what's the best way to put this? Yeah, almost like remixing. I mean, almost everybody is a remix. Not everybody, see people that they admire and they take stuff from it, but they put their own spin on it. Like it's a remix. Like almost everybody is a remix. But the best thing about certain remixes is, you gotta be, yourself the most. So like even if you remix certain things from certain people, you still gotta be you. Like that's, some people remix artists, some people, you know how that go. You know how that go. But yeah, man. Oh, see, I did that whole, and I'm gonna need somebody to reel me in because I did all of that, and that was, in between the fundamental factors. Excuse me. But yeah, the fourth fundamental factor you look at when you decide to invest long term for a stock, up to a 10-year period, is going to be, what is the probability of, their bankruptcy score, which is basically their Z Altman score. Like, and he was basically getting into, Z Altman, in these places you want to go to look at the bankruptcy score of, well, not the bankruptcy score, but the probability of a bankruptcy score for these companies. Like, and like they do all the research for you and stuff like that, and they'll be able to tell you, like, what's going on. Like, I think he said, mm, and see, I ain't write it down because it was so small, but see, I should have wrote it down because it's numbers. And I don't like messing stuff up like this. I don't even want to cap. So I'm gonna let that ride right now. But basically, you want to look up their bankruptcy score, because if they got a high, score of going bankruptcy, then they probably, you don't want to be in them for 5 or 10 years if it's even a possibility that they could go bankrupt. So, those are the top 4 things right there. What's the ratio of the fanatical supporters of their brand versus their competitors? That's number 1. Number 2, do they have 50% mind share in their market for 2 or more products in their space? Number 3, how much do they make per hour? And number 4, what is the probability of their bankruptcy score? These are basically the 4 fundamental factors Ian was saying he looks at when he, wants to decide if he wants to invest in a company for, a 10-year plus period. And I'm pretty sure in a couple of years, like as I'm adding and sifting through everybody's, factors, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to set mine up. But I'm pretty sure 9 times out of 10, mine won't be that much more different. Because, bro know what he's talking about. And if I can't find no better way to look at it, then, hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And shoot, what else was they talking about the other day? Oh yeah, they was talking about, basically our economy in Apple. So basically, Ian Dunlap was talking about how basically there shouldn't be, quote, there shouldn't be 7 companies that are ruling the returns of 2023. And, internationally, it's about 14 overall that are just constantly dominating, and this is when we talking about 6,000 stocks overall in the stock market, like, unquote. Yeah, just, it's crazy when you think about it. Like, it's 7 companies in America, ruling the returns of 2023. Like, to know it's that tight of a race. And imagine how many companies you maybe even, use. They might not even be profitable or, doing good companies, like, in America. Like, imagine all the companies, like, it, ain't no telling what you might have in your house, or, you may have in your kitchen, or, something you may be buying that just may not be that good on the stock market. Like, it could just be like that. Like, and he was just basically saying, like, and this is another quote from him, if this isn't a sign that our credit is weakening and that our economy isn't as stable as it should be, then I don't know what is, unquote. And I feel like right here, he was just basically getting into, like, shoot, like, our economy needs to get better. Like, it's not looking good for us. Like, it's not looking good for nobody. Like, that's really crazy when you think about it. Like, it's folks out here, dealing with, like they said, Atlanta dealing with all them evictions. I'm mad I don't remember the number, but shoot, yeah, that's the most evictions, like, in a 7-month period in, I think they said, ever. And that's just Atlanta. So you got folks dealing with evictions. You got companies not doing well in the stock market. Like, it's really ugly out here right now, man. And folks just getting up, going to work, almost like nothing's happening. Because, I don't know, man. Life is crazy, man. It's crazy how so much right and wrong can be going on at the same time. And regardless of what's going on, everybody, depending in their life and their world, they still got to go up, go to work. Still got to take care of their family. Still got to take care of their kids. Like, this life chunk is crazy. But hey, man, everybody do their part, and the circle keeps, the circle keeps circling. like the globe keep glowing. Like, it's crazy how everything just manages to stay solid when you really think about it. But yeah, that was about the economy. And then Apple, the company Apple. So Rashad brought up the fact that Apple, quote, Apple faces its longest sales drop in decades and iPhone sales slump, unquote. And yeah, man, that's something crazy to think about. That's something crazy to think about, that Apple is like, yeah, Apple just faces longest sales drop in decades. The Apple. It's crazy times out here. And then after that, they basically got into like how, this is another quote from Ian. Ian was basically saying like how, I quote, Apple needs extreme innovation in the iPhone. I haven't heard one person on earth be like, I can't wait for the 15 to drop, unquote. And it is kind of true. At least it may be true for his experience, and at least my experience too. I ain't heard nobody talk about the 15. I haven't even really heard anybody talking about phones, period, lately. And that's the crazy thing about it. And, they was talking about that too. And then he came back, off of that to say this, quote, I think Apple has got very comfortable, unquote. And then that's when Troy, jumped in to be like, quote, again, I got to get better with like how I'm gonna do quote unquote. But yeah, man, I want to properly attribute, what these folks are saying to them. Like, that's the whole journalism thing. But excuse me for that. But Troy of Earn Your Leisure, quote, when Apple, got comfortable, the customer got comfortable. Across the, board, smartphone sales are down. Like, and we can't take out the fact that, inflation has played a part in this, unquote. And he was just basically saying all of them things, and like how it's a lot of factors going into how Apple, yeah, they are having but yeah, they just had the longest sales drop in decades because of, iPhone sales slump. But you gotta also think about, like he was saying, inflation played a part across the board. Smartphone sales are down. Like, yeah, like just in the whole overall space, like it's just down. And then, like they said, you compound that with the fact that, Apple got comfortable, and even though, the customers got comfortable, like they still buying 13s and 14s, but they're not saying, oh, I need to get the newest iPhone that's coming out. Like, they basically got comfortable with, and then, I'm pretty sure a couple people who might still be rocking an 11 or X, or 12 Pro, 13 Pro. Like, I really don't hear people out here saying like, oh, I gotta get the 14, or I gotta get the 15 when it come out. Like, and that's really crazy when you think about it. Like, it used to be an event when the new iPhone came out. It's not really an event anymore. Like, it's just, oh, the new iPhone came out. If anything, like, well, at least for me, I know, and some of the other people I, talk to and, deal with in life, like, they're more interested in the operating system that's going to come out, because when Apple drops a new iPhone, they drop a new operating system. So when the new operating system comes out, that's when, I think they was talking about that too, with services and stuff like that. But I'm pretty sure that's the other parts of their business. But when this operating system comes out, that's when we'll really know, like, what's Apple trying to shoot for with their new phone. Like, and, we'll just figure that out as that goes on. But yeah, I think, yep, that's all I got for you right here on this 5th episode of Tribe View Shouted. Yes, man, that is it. And I just, shoot, man, in closing, man, I want to say thank you. If you made it this far, If you skip through, whatever you do, it is what it is. As long as you pull some from here, just, throw me a like, maybe say a comment here and there if you feel like I touched on something you wanted to hear, or maybe you want to bring something else to my attention, or how life is. But hey, man, like, show some love. Like I say, if it's, I'm gonna try to go through this one too and chop this one up. I know I ain't go through the last couple of ones, but I'm gonna go through this one. I'm gonna chop this up. I'm gonna try to, I'm gonna try to. I am for this week. I'm going to put this out. This week coming up, I'm gonna put this out. I got tribunal mornings coming on Monday, and I should have my cut by then. If I don't, I just do 2 during the week, but I want to have that out. I want to put out a new gameplay clip. I feel like I done did my journalism enough to put out another gameplay clip, because I don't want to overload with gameplay, because I just don't want to overload with gameplay. I got a monumentalist. I just got to do it how I see it in my head. Like, that's the best way I can explain it. But I want to drop a gameplay clip. I want to drop a reel from this gameplay clip. And I got some, I got some stuff coming out. And I'm going to stay consistent. And I hope you stay consistent. Until next time, it's been your host, Tribe Delante, a.k.a. Tor Delante Pierce. Until next time, y'all be safe.